tools for the coach. Because curiosity means that you're not prejudging, you're not working out what you think the answer is, and you're allowing yourself to be engaged in the process without necessarily knowing what is going to happen. So for a coach, I could ask all kinds of questions to my coachee. I have no idea which of those questions are going to make a difference. What I have to trust is that in my curiosity to find out and connect with what is going on for the person, what it is they want, what it is they are feeling, that curiosity will allow me to be playful, not judgmental of myself, not be worried about trying to prove myself, thinking that I have to be a really good coach, look a particular way, sound a particular way. That a curiosity will allow me to be really, really present with the coaching. And that is what makes a difference. So when we think about ourselves, it's not necessarily thinking that you know the predetermined answer to many of the questions that you're going to ask yourself or that somebody asks you. That you allow yourself to be open to see what is there and to see what comes. Secondly, I don't know about you, but I sometimes struggle with listening. Anybody here? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. Yes. Anyone here? Yes. Yeah, listening. And you know, just like a lot of the training of therapists and coaches, listening is a huge, a fundamental element of coaching. The more you listen, the more you are going to notice. And often it's very intuitive, it's coming from that curiosity, and often when you listen, you're going to see more. You're going to see beyond what is seeable. You're going to hear what is beyond hearable. You're going to feel beyond what is physically present in the room. And that listening more than we talk makes a huge fundamental difference, not just for our conversations with other people, but with our conversations with ourselves. We need to create more space where we listen to our own inner voices than we do with the talking in our heads, the talking to other people. Sometimes I sit on public transport and the mobile phones, the conversations that I hear, and I think to myself, what other conversations could we be having? What kind of silence could we create around ourselves just to kind of connect in during our day, first thing in the morning, as we're coming home? But often what we do is we engage in very mindless conversations. And I'm not saying that judgmentally, I'm just curious to see how we're using our time and what we're doing with the conversations that we're having with ourselves. So the second cornerstone is listen more than you talk. The third one is, and this is where the mindfulness comes in, if it works, do more of it. The thing with coaching is that in a way, when you allow yourself to go into that space of being mindful and reflective, in a way what you're doing is you're tracking what you're doing in your life. You're actually seeing what works, you're seeing what doesn't. And if we know that information, then we can consciously make choices about what we do more of. So if we can do more of the things that work, we're going to create better lives for ourselves. We're going to feel better about ourselves. We're going to eliminate a lot of the things that don't make us feel good. So that makes a way to be successful and to be meaningful. And he has this famous quote, and he says, it's not just about working on your business. Sorry, it's not about working in your business. So it's not about all the doing, keeping your head down, just getting on with it. It's about working on your business. And that's the same for our lives. So many of us are busy. We've got a lot on our plates. We're moving from one deadline to another. We're moving from one project to another. Coming back to the whole issue about time. This thing about working on your life is what is going to make the difference. And lastly, this is my, in a way, like my encouragement to you. If you are finding it really difficult to make time for yourself, I want you to schedule it into your diary. I saw a movie smile there. What do you think about that? says it's great.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay, how many of you are going to do it? Okay, Tracy's hand went straight up.
Friday.
Yeah. What would make you do it? Yeah?
I'd say affirmations.
So what would you give yourself affirmations? Would you tell yourself things? Yeah, so you would think about, would you think about the benefit of doing it? Yeah, you think about the value of doing it, okay? So what might be some of the values of doing it? Just shout them out.
Balance.
Balance, you get more balance.
Effectiveness.
You get, who said that?
Effectiveness.
Okay, thank you. Effectiveness, you'd be more effective. You get peace of mind.
You'd be organised.
You'd experience more change in your life.
You'll be organised.
You'd be more organised, Ruth. Rejuvenated. You'd be more grateful. Am I tempting anybody? You feel more empowered. Isn't it funny how we don't want to do the things that will give us good things? Because this is what makes the difference. It's often not really big things. You know, I've been on all the seminars, I've been on the Anthony Robbins, I was there jumping, shouting, walking on fire, I've done it all. Yeah, but I'm not being funny, Anthony Robbins doesn't come home with me. He doesn't live at 46 over the road. So actually, we have got to do it for ourselves. And often we only value things if they're difficult. Like if I was you, I'd have been rummaging in my bag right now to find my diary, and I've been writing it. And it's that difference between how committed are you to doing even the smallest things. So I'm gonna speed on through some of these things, but I'm just gonna talk to them very quickly because I want us to do our next exercise. A big thing in coaching is questions need to be open. Yeah? So you need to ask questions that allow the person to go into finding solutions as opposed to what? Excuses. What's another thing that we find?
Could you rephrase that again, please?
Yeah. Questions need to be open. You need to ask open questions so that you can move towards finding solutions. Because often, what do we find the opposite end of solutions?
Obstacles.
Yeah, obstacles, excuses, what's the other? Limiting beliefs. What's a P word?
Problems.
Yes. Most of us are focused on problem talk. Yeah?
Break it down.
I'll give you an example. A friend called me today. Hi. How are you? I said, my desk looks like World War III is just hit. I'm overwhelmed, and I found myself rolling into the story. But before I could even get into my story, guess what? She rolled into hers. I started to hear all about work, the organisation, the stress she's under, how she's feeling. And then I caught myself, and I said to her, what's going well? What's going well? Do you know what she said to me? Don't bother start coaching me, Jackee. I don't want to be telling you. What's going well? Now, what's really interesting about that was there was a bit of a pause. She paused, I paused. I decided that I wasn't going to get defensive and start to defend the fact that I'm a coach, and it might have sounded a bit coachy. Yeah, and you know, I shouldn't have sounded coachy. I shouldn't have started to try coaching her. But instead, I stayed with the moment, and I said to her, do you know what? I really am interested in what is going well at work. And she kind of mumbled something. I didn't quite hear it. I said, well, what was that? She said, well, actually, I'm feeling really inspired, and we're really creative at the moment. We are being really creative in the face of all of this change that we're having to experience in the organisation. And I didn't want to say, oh yeah, so that is a really good thing that is happening. I thought, oh right, that sounds really, really interesting. And I sort of noted that in my head. And then she went back into another problem, yeah, and I listened. And then, unbelievably, out of nowhere, she just